What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Profluent Sports as we continue more conversations with the CEOs, founders, and investors, especially in the emerging league landscape. So today I have Johnny Grave from Major League Cricket, MLC. So Johnny, appreciate you coming on. How are you doing today, brother?
Yeah, pleasure. Thanks for having me.
I'm sure you're full swing into it, the start of the next season. Give us the rundown. How's it going so far? How you feeling about this season number 2, right? So
Yeah, it's actually our third season.
third season.
So yeah, we started back on the 12th of June. First time Major League Cricket had been on the West Coast. First time really professional cricket of this level had been on the West Coast. So we had a great start to the league, playing at the first time at the Oakland Coliseum. Again, the first time that cricket had ever been played in there. Very complicated and complex process to convert the Coliseum into a cricket venue, but it went brilliantly. We had an opening night with a record score, a second night with a last ball finish, and we welcomed over 30,000 fans into the Coliseum to kickstart the tournament. As you say, we're now in Dallas. The match is moving here to our home, which is at Grand Prairie. That's had lots of cricket over the last few years since we converted that stadium from a minor league baseball ground into a cricket venue. And then we go to the East Coast next week to Lauderhill, Broward County. The first time Major League Cricket's been there, but Broward County Cricket Ground has hosted a number of international and major events over the past decade, so an established sort of cricket venue in South Florida. And then we come back here to Grand Prairie for the final. So this is the first time the league has expanded, so everyone plays each other home and away. So we've got a 34 match season this year, and so far it's been a huge success, and we're looking forward to continuing that momentum right up until the final championship game on Sunday, the 13th of July, and already sort of excited and looking ahead to next season.
That's awesome. And I guess give us a quick rundown on MLC, like how many teams, sort of how you formed, the structure of it. A lot of these leagues, is it, franchise model, team model, tour model, just sort of the quick rundown on the league as a whole.
Yeah, so the league was launched 2 years ago by the organisation I work for, which is American Cricket Enterprises. They own the commercial rights effectively to USA Cricket through the partnership we struck with them that actually was signed just before COVID, but obviously a fairly delayed start due to the complexes of that pandemic. But the league launched 2 years ago. We also operate minor league cricket, which is the sort of the level below that underpins Major League Cricket. So we've got in Major League Cricket currently 6 teams, in minor league cricket 26 teams, and then we also sort of operate and represent the commercial rights of the 2 US national teams, the men and the women. So that's the sort of breakdown of the organisation. Major League Cricket itself is co-owned by the 6 teams now. So we've got 3 IPL teams, so the Indian Premier League, the biggest league in the world. 3 of our teams carry those IPL brands in the Texas Super Kings, MI New York, part of the Mumbai Indians family of teams, and then the Los Angeles Knight Riders. We also, in the case of the Seattle Orcas, our other team, they're co-owned by the Delhi Capitals. So whilst they don't have the IPL brand name associated with the team, they are co-owned by the IPL franchise, the Delhi Capitals. So, and then we have 2 US-based teams in terms of the ownership, the Washington Freedom, and then the final team that makes up the 6 teams that we currently have is
San Francisco
Unicorn. Sorry.
We just had to make that a little dramatic for everyone. We knew it.
So 2 of the teams play at home, the San Francisco Unicorns playing in Oakland, and the Texas Super Kings playing here in Grand Prairie, Dallas. The league is looking to each team to develop their own home venue over the next few years, which will be a crucial sort of evolution for the league to create that real home fan community and environment. We've also announced just at the start of this year that we're going to expand in 2027 to 8 teams. We're hoping and expecting those teams to be in Chicago and Toronto, which will be exciting for us. And again, they'll be joining on the same terms. They'll need to develop infrastructure and stadiums in those 2 cities. And then by 2031, again, we've structured everything for 2 further teams. So we'll move to a 10-team league in 2031, the 2 cities that would host those teams to be announced over the coming years. So lots of activity, big investment. It's probably part of $1 billion investment of cricket in this country when you consider what was spent last year on the Cricket World Cup that was hosted by the West Indies and the Caribbean and the United States. And particularly when we look ahead to cricket's return, first time in 100 years that it will be in the Olympic Games, which will happen for the Los Angeles Games in 2028. So huge amount of activity in cricket in this country. And we're certainly all hugely excited by the opportunity to grow the sport here.
Yeah, it's incredible momentum, and congrats on keeping it rolling and expansion as it hopefully plays out exactly to form. Now, as you look at you guys being the top tier pro league in the US, how do you develop downstream? How are you thinking about that? Obviously, you have the minor league cricket, but into college or into youth, right? How are you thinking about the top down expansion and the growth of cricket as a whole across we'll just call it North America and the Caribbean?
Yeah, so look, certainly we're looking to sort of develop a calendar of high-profile events in the sort of what we would describe in cricket, the Northern Hemisphere cricket calendar. So immediately after the Indian Premier League finishes at the end of May until the Southern Hemisphere teams start their domestic season, which is sort of around the start of October. So you're right, between Canada, the US and the Caribbean, we're looking to have lots of high-level, top-tier cricket being played. Underneath Major League Cricket, we've got the minor league, and the minor league is already expanding into under-21s and under-9s, and I'm sure other age groups tournaments. They're also expanding their activities outside of minor league cricket to develop an academy network and that will have not just a combination of high-quality cricket being played in their venues outdoor and indoor, but also tournaments outside of minor league cricket. So at the moment, we've got 2 open tournaments, one playing in Houston, the Houston Open, and one playing in Atlanta, and the Atlanta Open. And we're looking to expand that so the conferences of minor league cricket has their own open tournament. And then really we've got to sit down and do much more detailed work with our counterparts at USA Cricket to build out that player pathway so that we got to, not just for the men's game, but also for the women's game, to make sure that there is a clear pathway from a minor league academy into the minor league, into the major league, and then ultimately onto the US national team. So lots of more work to do in that respect, and also in terms of your wider point, a sort of well-funded mass participation grassroots activity of getting bats and balls into the hands of young Americans to understand the game, to be future players, both at professional, recreational level, but also to be future fans. If you obviously understand the game, having played it at a young age, you're much more likely to be a fan and support one of our franchise teams and the US national team. So lots of planning to do, and we're hoping to unveil a new strategic plan on behalf of sort of Major League Cricket and also USA Cricket sort of in the early part of next year.
Super cool. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. And obviously at the last year at the World Cup, US with the huge upset over Pakistan, which shocked a lot of people. How do you, or I guess we'll go back a layer, what are most of the teams in MLC made up of? Is it American players, or what's sort of the breakdown? Just for people who have context, it's global, Indian, Pakistan, more Western countries. What's that look like from a league perspective? Are you bringing top talent? How's that all look on the player and talent side?
Yeah, I guess the biggest difference with cricket compared to certainly the soccer leagues is that all the best players in the world can be available to play in your domestic leagues because they don't last 12 months or for the full calendar years. We've sort of almost been able to position Major League Cricket in the window that finishes or follows IPL and starts before the bigger tournaments that take place after us, which is in England, the 100-ball competition, and in the Caribbean Premier League. So we've got this window in June, July, where all the best players in the world who aren't playing international cricket at that time can come to the US to play alongside the best players from America. At the moment, most of the leagues will have a sort of 7-4 split between domestic and international. So 7 domestic players in their starting 11 with 4 internationals. We're slightly different because of the fact that we're still growing and developing the sport. We're allowed to flip that and have 5 domestic players and 7 internationals. So obviously, everything I said beforehand in terms of the minor league and the academy network and that player pathway develops. We'll be looking to to effectively get closer to the norm 7 domestic players, 4 overseas. But in the short term, we're allowed to have more. And pretty much since inception, Major League Cricket has attracted some of the best players in the world to play across our 6 teams, and we continue to enjoy that now and expect that to follow, because playing here is a compelling opportunity, I guess, for players around the world to come here when, as I said, we're not competing with any other franchise league in the T20 format. So, yeah, we're blessed by having some of the best players in the world alongside the best players in the US, which hopefully means the quality of the league is only going to increase.
Yeah, and on the we'll call it like the viewership side, what's that look like from I believe Willow TV is the big one from the media rights. Obviously, a lot of these leagues, those are the big deals that keep them going, and from a global perspective, what's that look like for you guys on the media side? Obviously, being the second most popular sport in the world, and then also so number one on the tech media side, media rights, and then number two, viewership. Is it still very much in the popular countries, or where are you seeing a lot of the viewers for MLC matches?
Yeah, look, we're lucky to have a domestic broadcaster in Willow TV that's pretty much the home of all cricket content in the United States. Yeah, from a revenue perspective, all of the leagues that operate in the world, the majority of their revenue is coming from that domestic TV deal. So that's certainly the case with Major League Cricket. We also have the ability with Willow to put highlights and clips onto YouTube and social media, which gets huge numbers, as well as the regional sports networks for the home games of the teams, which gives us that extra reach and visibility. Outside of the US is, I guess, where the majority of the audience currently is. And we're on the biggest networks across most of the territories. So we've got ESPN in Sub-Saharan Africa. We've got Sky New Zealand in New Zealand. We're on Channel 7, which is probably the biggest channel for cricket in Australia. And then we're on the biggest platform in the world for cricket, which is the JioStar network in India. So we have our content on their linear channel, Star Sports, and on their digital channel, JioStar. So huge numbers are interacting despite the sort of time zone challenges where we're on in India in the most part early in the morning, and we're still driving millions and millions of viewers to Major League Cricket, which is great. So we're still obviously in the infancy of the league, but the audience on a global basis is millions of fans. And as we're starting to see here, and certainly as we start to develop those home stadiums and get more of the teams playing in their home cities, then we expect the attendances to also increase and develop.
Yeah, and on that, seeing a lot of just new technologies around cricket as well, and having a lot of these conversations with the up-and-coming leagues, you have this unique opportunity to build the tech in from the beginning rather than, reverse engineering it from the ones that have been around for a long time. How are you guys thinking about that? Are you guys using any interesting tech platforms or companies or anything around it, just for whether for viewership or the athletes or fan experience or injury or wherever it fits? I was just curious, like from a tech lens, how you guys are thinking about in these up and coming leagues.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we're definitely embracing all of the sort of the best technology used in all the preeminent leagues in the world. We have a 25 camera TV production for Major League Cricket. We use Hawkeye, which is and ball tracking, which is the sort of the VAR equivalent in cricket in terms of the decision making, using all the technology. And we have some of the sort of more innovative cameras that are taking place. We're now doing our TV production using IP delivery. I certainly expect that only to sort of grow and develop over time. We're trialing different things around, using AI for certainly putting our commentary into different multi-languages around the world. So, and in minor league cricket, we're doing all of our matches are streamed live, and that's where we're using all the technology that you possibly can to ensure that, the clips are done efficiently and posted on social media, but also that, the graphics are also overlaid, and the whole sort of scoring system underpinning that and sort of the competition management is all done using technology as well. So, yeah, I think one of the things we're looking to do with this league, as you say, being a startup, hopefully we can be a bit more agile and embrace and trial new technologies and different things. We want this to represent for the players and for fans around the world the very best of T20 cricket in terms of the quality of the play and what the expectation would be, but also to take the very best technology and the very best of US sports and blend that together to create what we hope will be a really compelling version of T20 cricket that is unique to America.
Yeah, it's always cool to see how it's built out from the ground up, and just the technology around sports is so much better now. From the state of cricket overall, what's getting you excited? What else are you paying attention to globally? Obviously, there's new styles of play, there's new leagues, we've even seen some sportainment or entertainment concepts come up around cricket. What else are you paying attention to? What's interesting to you in cricket globally, just from a trend perspective?
Yeah, I think there was probably a few things in that. I certainly think it was very exciting for us from a high performance perspective to be working very closely with USA Cricket, who've just got two new head coaches in for the men's and women's team, to use the facilities that we've built and developed here in Grand Prairie, both in terms of indoor cricket facility and also the outdoor practice facility and main stadium here. So we're looking to have a lot more high performance camps and interactions with the two US national teams, as well as the under-19 teams as well. And certainly as we look ahead to 2028, we're hoping that we'll get positive news from the LA Games organisation committee that the US national teams will participate as host nations in the Olympics without the need to qualify. And then really we've got 3 years between us and USA Cricket to work together to get, I guess, from a high performance perspective, some of the best teams in the world to play against them in order to prepare and develop the teams and give them that experience on the field, but also from a developing the fan base point of view, bring the biggest and best teams over here in the United States to play in our Major League Cricket venues against some of the biggest teams in the world. So we want the US teams really 26 to 28 over that 3-year period to be developing and climbing the rankings and being, I think, a genuine medal chance in Los Angeles, but also in the build up to that, really creating a buzz and excitement around cricket's return to the Olympics for the first time in 100 years. And just 2 days ago, cricket was announced as being in the Pan Am Games in Peru in 2027, which again, we expect the US national team to be in those Pan Am Games. So there's lots of exciting news from a multi-sport perspective, which I think will just position T20 cricket and cricket in front of sports fans who have maybe never watched the game before, and hopefully through Major League Cricket, minor league cricket and the activity we're doing will give them lots of good content for them to become big cricket fans. I think wider than that, there's some interesting things that we hope will be on the sort of horizon. One, again, from building the fan base, a brand new mobile game for the game of cricket that can rival some of the biggest in the world in terms of the other sports. Cricket's not really had a top console mobile game for a few years, but it has had in the past. And I think the way in which young people are sort of following and getting into sport, that sort of mobile gaming is a big part of the fan engagement. So I think that's quite an exciting project that we expect to happen at some point, as well as we assume that at some point as well, the world of cricket will knit together all these franchise leagues and come up with another version of the Champions League, which happened previously in cricket many years ago, but hasn't been played for over 10 years. So hopefully that will create an additional incentive for teams to win Major League Cricket with the opportunity to go through to what I'm sure will be a very lucrative Champions League. So there's some of the things that are happening, but cricket's ever changing and always evolving, so you never quite know what's around the corner. But we're certainly buoyed by the fact that we've got this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity in the build-up to Los Angeles Games and cricket's return, and making sure that we're set up to capitalise that as a legacy to the Games for the sport of cricket in this country.
Yeah, LA 28 is such a big milestone across so many different sports, but especially cricket, just because it gives a chance for Americans to see it in action. I mean, I don't know if you have stats in this, but I'm sure such a small percentage have, number one, even seen a game, been to a game, or know the rules. And so it's a huge opportunity that I'm sure you guys have circled multiple times over. And then, on the Champions League, that's certainly interesting and cool to see happening across sports. And then from the mobile game, I mean, you guys obviously have a ton of great tech personalities and tech names involved. So I'm sure that makes it a little bit easier on that side to spin that up. And then how do you guys see yourself as, the cricket actual league is the IP. Now you have a mobile game. I'm sure, obviously media rights, sponsorship. How are you thinking about some of the other things around the flywheel of the leagues or the teams themselves?
I think certainly we're looking at maximising the sponsorship revenue. We think there's an opportunity in the short term to really grow that across Major League and minor league cricket as well as attract big sponsors to get behind Team USA in the build-up of that 3-year plan to the LA Games. The media rights, we're in long-term contracts now with a number of the key markets, and most are secured. In some of the sort of established markets where we haven't yet landed a long-term deal, particularly the UK, and that's mainly driven by time zone and the fact that this is the English summer where they have a huge amount of cricket content during the day and evening anyway. But we're certainly very focused in continuing to play at a time where American sports fans can watch and attend matches. So we expect our season to continue to have the vast majority of games played under lights at night after work and school, to allow fans to come in and play. So we're as I said, we're just at the start of our journey commercially, I think, and certainly like all sports, we're going to shine and hopefully get more and more eyeballs watching us in the stadiums and on TVs and platforms during this 4 to 5 week season. So one of the things we're thinking about is how we can really move those fans into minor league cricket and get them really to get behind the US national teams, but also that non-live content. How do we be noisy and vocal and relevant throughout the 12 months? And really that's going to be driven by the non-live, and hopefully also, having that moment where in both the US men's and women's team, there becomes a sort of standout star that really can inspire the next generation of cricket fans and really cut through that noisy, busy US sporting landscape. We've seen, in the likes of basketball, what Caitlin Clark and others have done to those sports. And certainly if we can get the US national players to get that visibility and fan following, then that's going to do wonders to growing the sport in this country.
Agreed. There's a real opportunity. I think this has been great, Johnny. I think we'll cut it there. We've covered a bunch, tons of great nuggets. So I appreciate you coming on. Where can people learn more? What's, website or socials, or where can people get the rundown on Major League Cricket and, attend a match, watch a match, whatever it is? Where's the best spots for information?
Yeah, so Major League Cricket's live on Willow. We've got a YouTube channel with Major League Cricket Network, and then social media. We're very active across Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. So I encourage everyone to get on board and to search up cricket and Major League Cricket on YouTube and look at all the content that's there. And it's a pretty simple game to understand in terms of the headlines of the sport. And then, the more you get into it, the more you can sort of understand all the nuances and the particulars of the game, which are vast. But it's a great sport to watch. And certainly everyone that I've spoken to that's been to Major League Cricket this season for the first time ever watching cricket has had a fantastic experience. So we've still got matches here in Grand Prairie. We're going to Lauderhill in Broward County next week around the sort of Independence Day, and then back to Grand Prairie for the final. So there's still tickets available on majorleaguecricket.com, and we'd encourage anyone to come to any of the games, and we guarantee them they're going to have a really enjoyable night out.
I love it. Well, excited to see the growth. We'll have to get you back on as you guys keep progressing. And it's fun to see you guys keep building in the lead up to 28.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome.